Hello and welcome to everyone. In our last session, we saw the syllabus for special paper 3 and general paper 3. Today in this session, we are going to discuss syntax, the basics of syntax, its definition, its meaning, and its structure. I have already uploaded the syllabus copy of all subjects of English on Google Classrooms and WhatsApp groups in order to make you all students very convenient to look into the syllabus very meticulously. Friends, before I will introduce syntax to you, I want to take a brief review of the branches of linguistics that we have been discussing since you were in FYBA. In FYBA, we studied language components in which we studied the pronunciation of words. Let's discuss phonetics again. So, phonetics is the branch of linguistics which studies the pronunciation of words. So, here we will see what is the difference between phonetics and phonology. Phonetics studies the pronunciation of all words in any language or of all languages, whereas phonology studies the pronunciation of a particular language. So, for example, we are studying the pronunciation of English language. So, we are studying pronunciation phonologically, not phonetically. So, we also studied morphology, in which we saw word formation, how some letters are brought together and a particular word is made out of them. So, by forming words, we see that the word becomes very meaningful. So, the next branch of linguistics is syntax, in which we study how these formed words are brought together to make a phrase, to make a clause, or to make a sentence. So, here in syntax, we are going to see sentence structure. If I want to define syntax, I would say that syntax is traditionally defined as the branch of linguistics which studies the structure of sentences. So here you have to note down one particular thing, that syntax studies the structure of sentences. We as human beings and speaking or using language for communication is one of our most distinguished features which other animals or living beings do not possess. Scientists believe that if we are able to fully understand the mystery of our ability to use language, we will be able to know and understand a lot about how our mind works. As language is considered one of our primary means of cognition. Indeed, one of the most remarkable aspects of human language is our ability to build up larger units from smaller components. Thus, we get words from sounds and sentences from words etc. This is a unique ability only found in the human communication system vis-a-vis all other communication systems. So friends, this is a brief introduction about the syntax. Only one thing that you have to keep in mind, that syntax studies sentence structures. Means syntax is about how a sentence is formed and how certain phrases are formed, how clauses are formed. See, let us see what that structure is. Structure is something that has been made or built up of parts. The way in which the parts of a system or objects are arranged and organized. So, this is a definition that I have quoted from Cambridge Advanced Learners Dictionary, that I will repeat it again. Syntax is the way in which parts of a system or objects are arranged or organized. So, the words like arrange, organize, gather are very much important as far as the comprehension of the term syntax is concerned. See, based on this understanding of structure, when we say that we study the structure of sentences in syntax, so while studying the structure of sentences in syntax, what we have to consider it very seriously, that we study the parts from which sentences are built, and we study the way in which parts of a sentence are arranged or organized. So these two things. First is the parts from which sentences are arranged or built, and the way in which parts of a sentences are arranged or organized. So friends, this is what we have seen a very brief introduction about the word syntax. Now let us see. We will focus on both these aspects of sentential structure in this session. Let us begin with an example. Look at the sentence that I will utter now. See, the sentence is: the last batsman scored the century in an otherwise forgettable match. The last batsman scored the century in an otherwise forgettable match. That this sentence is made up of words is not a remarkable information. This is a very plain sentence. The last batsman scored a century in an otherwise forgettable match. What is indeed remarkable is that this is not a mere string or a random arrangement of words. We can understand that this, if we are just to jumble up words to get something like the sentence. See, if a sentence is to be arranged, that a sentence needs to have a subject, the sentence needs to have a verb and object. So the structure is subject, verb, object is very much important in understanding or in order to make the sentence meaningful. If I jumble up the sentence like the last batsman scored the century in an otherwise forgettable match, like this, batsman otherwise scored the match in an forgettable only last century. So what did I say is a very much incomprehensible or seems to be odd to myself and to you also. See, here in this sentence, we clearly observe that the string of word or the arrangement of words is quite ungrammatical and almost impossible to understand or interpret. Yet, it clearly uses same set of words as our grammatical sentence. So when I jumbled up the sentence, I did not use any new word in the sentence. I just jumbled up it and I just reversed the pattern of subject, verb and object. And when I reversed it, I lost its structure, I lost its interpretation, its meaning and its essence. So since the number of sentences in a language is infinite, we do not have rules for each sentence separately, but all sentences are formed from a general set of rules. So friends, in our next session, we will see how the sentence can be arranged, how one sentence can be arranged from using different structures and can it be made meaningful. We will see it next time. Thank you for attending. Thank you.